The heroic survival of Southwest Airlines Flight 1380. Prologue. A routine flight turns catastrophic. On the morning of April 17, 2018, Southwest Airlines Flight 1380 prepared for takeoff from New York's LaGuardia Airport. The flight, operated by a Boeing 737-700, was en route to Dallas Love Field. Passengers ranged from business travelers to families and vacationers, each settling in for what they thought would be a routine journey. As the aircraft ascended to its cruising altitude of 3,200 feet, nothing seemed out of the ordinary. Flight attendants conducted safety demonstrations, the captain exchanged pleasantries with air traffic control, and passengers adjusted to the comfortable hum of the engines. However, beneath this facade of normalcy, a hidden danger lurked in the heart of one of the plane's engines, waiting to unleash devastation. The explosion, a sudden and violent event. Approximately 20 minutes into the flight, disaster struck. A deafening explosion shattered the calm as the left engine, a CFM56-7B turbofan, suffered an uncontained failure. Metal fragments from the engine tore through the wing and fuselage, puncturing a window in row 14. The cabin was instantly thrown into chaos. The shattered window caused a rapid decompression, creating a powerful suction effect. Jennifer Riordan, a 43-year-old passenger and mother of two, was seated beside the compromised window. She was partially pulled out of the aircraft as the oxygen-starved cabin filled with screams and panic. Fellow passengers scrambled to help, holding on to her as others frantically tried to plug the gaping hole with clothing and blankets. Amid the chaos, oxygen masks deployed and passengers struggled to secure them while grappling with the shock of the sudden catastrophe. Flight attendants, trained for emergencies but never fully prepared for such a situation, rushed to calm the passengers, secure the cabin, and assist the injured. In the cockpit, a test of leadership and composure. In the cockpit, Captain Tammie Jo Shults and First Officer Darren Ellisor immediately sprang into action. Shults, one of the first female fighter pilots in the U.S. Navy, relied on her extensive training and experience to maintain control of the aircraft. Realizing the severity of the situation, Shults declared an emergency to air traffic control. "Southwest 1380, we've got part of the aircraft missing," she calmly stated, despite the life-threatening circumstances. With one engine inoperative and the aircraft's structural integrity compromised, she began an emergency descent to stabilize cabin pressure. The teamwork between Shults and Ellisor was seamless. While Shults focused on piloting the damaged aircraft, Ellisor managed communications and systems checks, ensuring every possible precaution was taken to protect the lives on board. A cabin in chaos, passengers unite in crisis. Back in the cabin, the sense of community among passengers was extraordinary. Several individuals braved the chaos to help those around them. A group worked tirelessly to pull Jennifer Riordan back into the aircraft, despite the immense force of the decompression. Others offered emotional support to terrified seatmates, held hands, and recited prayers aloud. Flight attendants, battling their own fear, worked methodically to restore order. They reassured passengers, monitored the injured, and reinforced safety measures. Their training and professionalism shone in a moment where panic could have overtaken reason. A race against time, emergency descent to safety. Captain Shults guided the aircraft toward Philadelphia International Airport, the nearest available landing site. The descent was steep but controlled, designed to bring the plane to a safer altitude quickly. As the ground loomed closer, emergency response teams at the airport prepared for the worst, mobilizing fire trucks, ambulances, and rescue crews. The damaged Boeing 737, now operating on a single engine, required precise handling. Shults executed a near-perfect landing despite the severe structural damage and released power. As the plane touched down, a wave of relief swept over the passengers and crew. The aftermath, tragedy and triumph. Emergency responders boarded the plane immediately after it came to a stop. Jennifer Riordan, who had sustained fatal injuries, was the only casualty of the flight. Her tragic death was a stark reminder of the fragility of life and the unpredictable nature of air travel. The other 148 passengers and crew members were safely evacuated, many tearfully embracing one another after their harrowing ordeal. They were united not just by shared trauma, but by the collective heroism that had brought them through the disaster. The investigation, a preventable tragedy? The National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, launched a comprehensive investigation into the incident. The cause was traced to metal fatigue in one of the engine's fan blades, which had gone unnoticed during routine inspections. The event prompted urgent changes in engine maintenance protocols and inspection procedures across the aviation industry. Legacy of Flight 13A, a story of courage. Captain Tammie Jo Shults was hailed as a hero for her calm and decisive actions. Her composure under extreme pressure and her ability to safely land the plane saved countless lives. Passengers also became symbols of resilience and unity, demonstrating the strength of the human spirit in the face of unimaginable adversity. Epilogue. Lessons learned. Southwest Airlines Flight 1380 serves as a stark reminder of the critical importance of training, preparedness, and technological vigilance in aviation. It is a story of tragedy, yes, but also one of survival, humanity, and heroism at 3,2,0,0,0 feet. Southwest Airlines Flight 1380, a scheduled domestic passenger flight operated by Southwest Airlines aircraft. The aircraft involved was a Boeing 737-00, registered as N70872SW. It was powered by two CFM56-7B24 engines, widely used in commercial aviation for their reliability. At the time of the incident, the aircraft was well maintained and had undergone routine inspections. Date and time? The incident occurred on April 17, 2018, during a flight from New York's LaGuardia Airport, LGA, to Dallas Love Field, LDL. The uncontained engine failure happened approximately 20 minutes after takeoff, while the plane was cruising at an altitude of 3,2,0,0,0 feet. Departure. The flight originated from LaGuardia Airport, LGA, one of the busiest airports in the United States, located in Queens, New York. Destination. The intended destination was Dallas Love Field, ADAL, a major hub for Southwest Airlines located in Texas. Emergency landing. Following the engine failure and cabin depressurization, the flight was diverted to Philadelphia International Airport, PHL, in Pennsylvania for an emergency landing. Problem. Engine failure. The left engine of the Boeing 737 suffered an uncontained engine failure due to a fractured fan blade, which broke off because of metal fatigue. Impact of debris. The dislodged engine component struck the fuselage, shattering a window near seat 14A. Explosive decompression. The broken window caused a rapid loss of cabin pressure, commonly referred to as explosive decompression, creating chaos in the cabin. Immediate consequences. Passenger fatality. Jennifer Riordan, a passenger seated near the broken window, was partially ejected due to the pressure difference. Despite the heroic efforts of fellow passengers to pull her back inside, she sustained fatal injuries. Damage to aircraft. The aircraft's left engine was heavily damaged, and the fuselage bore visible impact marks. However, the critical flight systems and structure remained functional, allowing the crew to maintain control. Flight crew response. Captain Tammie Jo Shults and First Officer Darren Ellisor displayed exceptional professionalism, calmly handling the emergency. They quickly initiated an emergency descent and coordinated with air traffic control for priority landing at PHL. Outcome. The flight landed safely at Philadelphia International Airport, where emergency responders were waiting. Of the 149 people on board, 1 fatality occurred and 7 passengers sustained minor injuries. The quick actions of the crew and passengers averted a larger tragedy, making this incident a significant example of skill and teamwork in aviation.